Is harsh. Either you take control of your life now, or you keep watching the days go by like a background actor in your own story. And no, we're not talking about long-term change. We're talking about a single day. One single day lived with full intensity might be enough to break years of self-deception and reignite that spark you lost back there when you started pretending everything was fine. Sounds like an exaggeration, right? But think about it. What if you locked yourself away for 24 hours, disconnected from the world, and finally faced everything you've been avoiding? What if, instead of more distraction, you chose discipline? What if all it took was a mirror, a notebook, and a little silence to reorganize the inner chaos no one else sees? In this video, I'll show you how ordinary people are changing everything in just one day. Not because they found a magic formula, but because they finally stopped pretending. Now, if you think this is just another motivational video, maybe it's better to stop here, because what's coming might make you uncomfortable. It might provoke you. It might expose you. But it could also be the exact push you've been waiting for. So take a deep breath and get ready to live your first real day in a long time. There are times when life screams so loud that you can't even hear your own voice. The world pressures you, your phone buzzes, your mind runs, but gets nowhere. That's why the real starting point isn't chasing more content, it's stopping completely. The radical shutdown isn't about running from the world, it's about silencing it for a few hours so you can finally hear yourself. Turning off your phone, disconnecting from the internet, and vanishing from social media for a single day might seem extreme, but that's when the miracle begins to unfold. When your mind is no longer bombarded by notifications, comparisons, and outside opinions, it begins to reveal what truly matters. In that uncomfortable silence, focus begins to emerge. The kind of focus that doesn't come from coffee or external motivation, but from within. Try this on a Sunday, for example. Wake up and, before touching your phone, write your intentions in a notebook. Read something that expands your mindset, like The Miracle Morning, and feel the contrast between noise and presence. What's fascinating is that by stepping away from the world, you don't isolate yourself, you find yourself. You start to see clearly what was blurred by anxiety and overstimulation, and suddenly you realize maybe you're not lost. Maybe you were just too distracted to notice the path. And when the path starts to appear, an inevitable question comes knocking. That's when the mirror becomes the next step, not as an object, but as a portal for confrontation. There's a kind of conversation that no podcast can replace, the one you have with your own eyes. Standing silently in front of the mirror for 5 minutes sounds simple until you try it. No music, no distractions, just you and your reflection. In that moment, time slows down and something inside starts to stir, because looking in the mirror isn't about appearance, it's about courage. Asking, "Who am I pretending to be?" might sound silly at first, but only until you realize how many roles you've been playing without choosing them. The perfect child, the tireless worker, the friend who's always fine. How many versions of yourself do you keep up just to avoid disappointing others? This ritual is a turning point because it demands brutal honesty, and honesty hurts. But it's that pain that gives birth to true discipline, the kind where you stop lying to yourself. Some people cry during this, others laugh. Some say, "I don't even know who I really am," and that's okay. That's when the real work begins. If you can do this for 7 days in a row, you'll notice your energy shift. Focus doesn't come out of nowhere. It appears when the mask falls, and when you take off the mask, something has to leave with it, something that's been quietly sabotaging you all along. There are certain truths you only uncover when you have the guts to write down what you'd rather hide. Picking up a notebook and listing the habits that are killing your potential takes more strength than you'd think. It's easy to say, "I need to change," harder to admit on paper that procrastination became an addiction, that a certain friendship is draining your energy, or that saying, "I'm fine," has become your go-to lie. But once you write it, something shifts. You expose the enemy who's been acting in the dark, yourself. Then comes the symbolic act. Tear it up, burn it, destroy the page. Sounds like a movie scene, but it holds real power. Your subconscious gets the message, "I'm not going back." It's like deleting the number of someone who just uses you, or leaving a group that pulls you away from your essence. Small actions, when added up, reshape your mindset. That tiny gesture becomes an inner scream of freedom. This isn't about becoming a new person overnight. It's about removing the clutter that's keeping you from who you already are. Like renovating a house. Before painting the walls, you have to tear down the cracks. And that takes discipline, the courage to look at what's wrong. And once your inner space starts to clear, you realize it's time to rebuild, but this time on much stronger foundations. Most people wake up and go straight into autopilot. Brush their teeth, check their phone, and feel behind before breakfast. The warrior hour breaks that cycle. It's just 60 minutes divided into 3 20-minute blocks. And the magic is in the simplicity. 20 minutes of physical movement. No need for a gym, you just need to move with intensity. It could be a quick jog, a round of jumping jacks, or even a cold shower with intentional breathing. What matters is pushing your body. The next 20 minutes, it's an inner battle. Write down everything you're feeling: anger, fear, doubts, desires. No filters, no editing. It's not meant to be beautiful. It's meant to be raw. You'll be surprised what flows when your pen takes over. That's when your focus starts aligning with what truly matters. Want to go deeper? Use a dedicated notebook just for this, like a personal battlefield where your scattered thoughts face your emerging discipline. And finally, the last 20 minutes. Silence. No music, no phone, just you and your breath. Sounds simple, but that's when your spirituality wakes up. You don't have to be religious, just be present. In that stillness, your mind starts to reorganize itself. Anyone who can stick with this for a week will no longer be the same person. And when you change from within, you begin to see the world with new eyes. Eyes that recognize your own reflection differently at 9 p.m. Arriving at 9 p.m. and facing the mirror again is no longer about confrontation. It's about gratitude. Now, instead of asking, "Who am I pretending to be?" the phrase shifts, "Thank you for showing up." It may sound simple, but only those who've hidden from themselves know the weight of showing up for real, showing up with focus, with discipline, with presence. Life changes when you stop running from yourself and start recognizing yourself as someone who's truly trying. That moment becomes a quiet but powerful closure. It's like telling the universe, "I took myself seriously today." It doesn't matter if the day was perfect. What matters is that it was intense, honest. That's the kind of mindset that separates those who make excuses from those who create results. A simple mirror turns into a personal sanctuary. Each night, that ritual reinforces that discipline isn't rigidity. It's an act of self-respect. And what's curious is that this final silent gesture lights something up inside. When you start living a day with truth, you begin to question why you spent so many years living on autopilot. And then comes the realization, maybe you don't need to change your whole life. Maybe you just need to stop pretending. And once that clicks, the question becomes unavoidable. What if a single day lived with intensity is the beginning of a brand new story? Now tell me, if you already know what needs to be done but what's still holding you back, is it fear of change or attachment to a version of yourself that no longer exists? The truth is, you don't need more time. You need a reality check. One day lived with focus, discipline, and truth is worth more than 100 lived on autopilot. The question isn't if this works. It's whether you'll have the courage to try. And what if all you're missing is just the decision that today is the day? Because listen, no one's coming to rescue you. No one's going to live your life for you. And if you don't rise now, you might become exactly what you once swore you'd never be. So drop the excuses and choose a day. Do the ritual, be present, and then come back here and tell me, what was it like to face your own truth? If this message hit home, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and share this video with someone who needs a wake-up call. Here we don't speak to please, we speak to transform. And if you stayed until the end, congratulations, because you've already started the hardest transformation of all, the one that happens on the inside.